Pull up on you to interview you. Hey, tell me where you from. Tell me what you do. What's going on, party people? It's BMan Jones right here checking in for another episode of Brilliant Views. Before we get started, gotta give a shout out to my sponsor, Mr. Merv. What's going on? We are here at the gym complex, 880 South Pleasantburg Drive.
Shout out to the gym complex.
Yes, sir. And also, before we get started, I must send a thank you shout out and a just thank you to everybody that came and supported YBA.
Oh man,
for our second annual honoring the
YBA the way.
You know what time it is. YBA the way. Beautiful. If you don't know what that is my mentoring program that I am a co-founder of. Make sure you go check us out at youngbrotherzacademy.org. You know, and then it's Young Brothers Academy on all social media.
Most def.
But today we are here to talk to my guy, Shem.
Yeah. Brother
Shem,
Bray.
what's going on, man?
I'm on Brilliant Views, man. Mama done made it. You feel me?
Listen,
let's go. Oh, most definitely.
Hey,
most definitely. It's an honor to be in your presence, man. Mm-hmm. You know, I really respect YBA, everything you guys are doing over there. You know, that's the seed, and that's how you watch the trees grow. So keep up that great work, man.
Will do, brother, most definitely. But see, man, you doing great work as well, man. Don't think we don't see you out there, too, now.
Thank you, man.
You know
Thank you, man.
We are elevating, bro.
Yeah.
So let's just jump into it, man. So who is Shem, bro?
Shemuel Namaste. Shemuel XYZ on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow that. Mm-hmm. I am a brother. I will start there.
Okay.
Young brother.
Yes,
I'm a creative who set out a mission out of the work of activism to help revitalize and identify our own community through the arts.
So that's what you talk about, the Renaissance.
Oh, yeah.
How you found yourself
for sure.
using arts.
Most definitely. I believe we're in a stage in our culture where, you know, in the 20s and the 1920s, you know, Harlem was the jewel where, you know, Langston Hughes and Cab Calloway and all these individuals who were talking about really cultural issues, but in an artistic fashion. You know, when I came out of Black Lives Matter movement and the Rise movement, shout out to Derek Quarles, Shatera O'Neal, and all those people. Once I came out of that in around 2013, the idea, well, what was the next step? And I always been involved in arts, you know, growing up, poetry and whatnot. And I said, well, let's see, can we reach to the artists to spread the message of Renaissance?
Okay.
And I would say, 8 years later, here we are.
Right.
You know, you see so many different ideas. I got artists always calling.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Stay busy.
We just said, listen, I can't be the springboard of voice all the time. You know, you're in media too. Right. It's better to give people a platform and showcase them, and then we can spread.
From using everybody else's media.
Facts.
Everybody has a platform of some sort. Even no matter how big or how small, it's still a platform.
Oh, for sure.
But definitely, man. You're doing a lot of great work out there in Spartanburg, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Every time I'm at an event, no matter what it is, Shem is going to be there, bro. Like, what was the event that we both went to?
Most recently.
Yes, most recently.
The Evening of Transformation.
Yes.
With shout out to Speaking Down Barriers. Follow us online, Speak Down Barriers. Gullah Gullah Island.
Listen, I gotta pop the picture up too when we talking about this. But the lady from Gullah Gullah Island, the queen from Gullah Gullah Island,
Natalie Days.
She did I guess I don't even know what to call it, but I'll call it a reenactment or a storytelling of how Harriet Tubman came to be and how she became the icon and the things she went to, the people that she talked to, all that type of stuff, all in one. It was very powerful. Yeah. Shout out to my cousin Maya because she
performed well. Shout out to Marlena DeCon who put that together. Speaking of Bears, the whole team, Tracy, Davelins, I'm gonna shoot Scott Neely, all of us. But our objective with Speaking Down Barriers was to bring cultural differences together to have discussions of what keeps barriers between people in our society growing as a whole, but doing it in a black way.
I got you. Yeah.
We don't have to marginalize our own style and culture to make our voice heard. Exactly. And I think our previous generations were taught that to, you know, you have to adapt some level, but you know, you recognize how many people are watching us as black people at all
culture,
times.
Bro.
We're the culture.
We're the move. Like, bro.
Right.
Every time I think of that, the one thing I always go back to is how Elvis, everybody, Elvis is this, Elvis is that, but Elvis got his swag from a black lady.
For sure.
You know
who had the Hound Dog joint.
You know what I'm talking about?
You hear that song versus Elvis, you're like, whoa, this was the flavor.
Right.
this was the flavor.
This the cook-up.
What's the guy that did the dancing that had the hair? Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry was
the first one.
He's the real king of rock and roll, bruh.
Yeah.
Chuck Berry. We are rock and roll. We're all these different things.
Yeah.
We have been and will continue to be.
Right.
But now I feel like our generation we're being unapologetic about it.
For sure. Social media definitely helped because you gave yourself your own window of voice.
Yes.
And when I first started doing the work that I was doing, we started a community organization called Age Old in 2014. We were using hashtags before hashtags was the cool thing to codify. So you can look up hashtags like hashtag Age Old, hashtag and nothing to do in Spartanburg. We was using these hashtags to talk about different events that we had coming up.
Okay.
And that was ahead of the technology. People were saying, why are you using hashtags? Next thing you know,
everybody's
using hashtags. It was a brain. Exactly, right? They'll tell you, look up the hashtag for this. So, you know, we've always been resilient people.
Right.
We've always been people who can be given just a little bit and we can make a whole lot.
Exactly.
Imagine when we get more amongst us, what we can do. That's what Renaissance is. It's the spreading of ideas, the spreading of culture, viewpoints. You came to that event. I've seen you not just at that event. I've seen you at, you know,
Jet lag.
What
was the name of that? Was it Airplane Mode?
Airplane Mode. Shout out to Rento.
Yes.
I've seen you at photo shoots, video shoots. We did the video shoot with Chemo.
Yeah.
It's coming out real soon.
Ooh, I can't wait for that to come out. I can't wait for that to come out.
Crazy one.
Listen,
Shout out to Lee Smith, man.
Lee Smith.
That whole gang over there.
So when you So, all right, let's talk about that because you're talking about your network.
Right.
All right?
Right.
So, now, your network, explain the importance of having a good network and being a man of your word and being on time and showing support for other people. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like me.
Yeah.
I'm at every event just supporting people, but you're there too.
Right.
And it's always about supporting the other person.
And if I can't be there, I'm going to make sure people know this is where you should be.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to bear everything on my shoulders anymore, but what I can do is to create visibility.
I got you.
Network is wealth.
Right.
You know, that's your true wealth. Money is cool. Money's great. Money can get you to pay for things, get you to certain places, but your network's going to get you there much faster.
Oh, yeah.
There are places where you can have all the money you want. You're not going to get in if you don't have the card or whatever the case may be.
Talk your talk, bro. Let know.
Typically, it takes a long time to build a network. I'm in year 5 of a 10-year plan. Okay. And I've taken huge losses to build this particular network. And it's not an elitist thing. It's for people who are willing and wanting to be involved. I haven't known people like 15 years. So I'm typically meeting people on the first time basis and they're giving me ideas so they can do. And I say, well, hey, have you met Adam Black? Right. Or have you met Lee Smith? Have you met Kima? Have you met my man Pig? How many people have you met? Have you met Brilliant Views? Like these are the people that are doing similar and even more impactful things that I know. You know what I mean? I may not be the wizard at it, but I know someone who is. Who trusts me that if I send somebody your way, if Shem sent him,
he good people. Yeah, that's
right.
Man, listen, I connected with so many people that night at the event. Like, man.
Yeah,
Shem know everybody, bro, and there's always good rapport. But that's what it's about, making sure you meet people.
For sure,
it's connection, man.
Yeah,
it's all about connection. So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about now. You're a part of a show.
For sure.
You have In the Middle, but you also have your own platform as well too.
Meet the Innovators. We're in our 5th season.
Okay.
And Meet the Innovators started out on this little cell phone.
I got you.
You know, I prop it up on a little stand. I have people to come into my office.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, my first guest was Bryant White.
Okay.
A Bevy.
A Bevy, yeah.
Okay. Benjamin Starr.
Okay.
Before free lunch and,
Some good people
right, Black Socrates, Rashad Galt, Rand Bruce.
Okay.
All in my office on my cell phone. And, I did that out of a show that I had at Hubbub called Inspired Spartanburg Show. Okay. It was a variety show where I would bring different creatives, entrepreneurs, and they would talk about what they had going on. Mm-hmm. I felt that, you go into your community, you see something that's missing, that's a service you can provide.
Yes, sir.
So I saw that there was an issue with visibility with Black creatives in this area. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, how can I create visibility? And we started that show. The show ended after 2-3 months. We had like 4. It was like a pilot. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, that's not going to stop me.
Right.
So I went to Periscope, and I would do it on my phone. People would type what they were seeing, whatnot. Mm-hmm. And I sat on it for a while, trying to get guests in, being married and all of that. I'm separated now, but at the time it was really tough because you're trying to navigate your dreams, home life, and all of that, trying to make it all happen. That balance. And it's tough. And I wasn't a master at that time. Mm-hmm. But that went from that show to Lee Smith was one of the first people that were watching it, and he hit me up just this past year, and he said, I want to produce a show for you. And now it's on the ITM network alongside with the other shows that Jeremiah, Tariqas J, shout out to the whole gang over there, Lonnie. Mm-hmm. The whole gang, man. There's so many dope people over there.
Lot of good moving
so
parts
they just took the show, and the perspective of the show is just to talk about innovation, people with great minds, and talk about what they want to provide. It's not just there to promote your mixtape. I'm sorry. There's other platforms for that. I tell them that. But you're here to talk about real talk. You know what I mean? What makes you who you are. So we just unveiled our 5th season on ITM Network. We just had Radrice Cardell, the Mad Artist, to pull up. Y'all make sure y'all like the page on Facebook. ITM.
He hard.
Ooh.
He hard. He hard. You're tough, Mad Artist.
Yes.
You,
Renaissance.
sir,
Renaissance.
Yes. You, sir, are tough. Man, so now, but you also, you dibble and dabble and definitely deal with like self-care.
For sure.
You always speak about taking care of self first and then reaching out. Because once again, there's another thing. You got how you going to be right. How are you not going to be right and trying to reach to other people. Speak on that. Speak on how important self-care is and self-motivation. And
for sure. I came up in a church environment most of, my childhood life, and which was a great experience. It gave me a foundation, but I knew there was more to it than what was being told at the time. And so, breaking down models of way people live their life is one of the toughest things you'll ever do because you're taught to do something, and then inside of you may not feel it working. You be like, I still feel pissed off, or I still feel sad, or I still feel lonely. And it wasn't until recent, working with Marlena DeCon and Speaking Down Barriers, that's a team of people who are therapists, people who are counselors, who will draw to your behavior attention and be like, yo, you might want to look into this. Or like simple things like, I get a rose quartz.
Okay.
This is a mineral that helps you manifest. You speak life into it, and it works in the unseen. And she's like, carry it in your pocket. And since I've been doing this, my self-doubt that I deal with, I deal with it much less. It's like, without even thinking about it. Because I'm a person that does suffer from self-doubt. Like, am I doing anything, or am I making a dent? But in order to provide the best service to others, you got to service yourself at optimal. And I just talked about, me recently being separated, and people would hear that and like, that's a bad thing. It's actually a good thing, because when we first got together, it wasn't from a self-care perspective. It was, let's build a family. But when you love someone and you recognize that they could blossom more if we actually go back to the roots of loving ourselves, the love will be much stronger. So we started going to therapy separately because we wanted to wash away programming. Things, you're a young guy, you know what I mean? You're doing everything in your power to get where you need to go.
Factual. Yes,
that
sir.
will drive a man insane.
It will, though. It will.
That will drive a man insane
will,
because you know you're really trying.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just sitting at the home twiddling your thumbs, but sometimes it feels like you're getting the same result.
Yeah.
Or you're getting treated the same,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that all could be just really in your head.
Mm-hmm.
It could be people really love you around, but you can't even see it because you're so engulfed
And what you think.
and what you think and what you want to go. And sometimes you have to love that part of yourself, nurture it. Say, actually, I am great. Look at your resources around you. Look at the people around you and see how they're pouring into you. Mm-hmm. See the people who want you. You reached out and you were like, yo, we haven't known each other for like 20 years. But when we talk, it's almost like as if we've known each other our whole lives because
connection, because we both want to up and up, bro.
Yeah.
We're trying to connect and
For
move
sure.
and get everybody
For sure.
going. Yeah.
So like I meditate. You know, I sit in space and I speak abundance in my life. I don't put anyone around me that thinks in scarcity. Mm-hmm. We can't get, y'all don't support. I don't keep nobody in my circle like that. Yeah. And then that we're like, if I hear it, I address it. I can't, because for a person that has self-doubt, that's the last thing you need because it's like accelerant. What you need is people who are saying, we're going somewhere. I appreciate you for doing this. So when you do have low moments, you can go back and read and say, oh, this is actually who I am. And this is who I can believe. And next thing you know, that vulnerability within yourself changes your whole environment around you. Right. And all of the work that you see me do, I can really do it.
My bad, people. You know, sometimes you have technical difficulties. Things happen. But
shout out to Brilliant Views. We still lit, though.
Still lit. Man, let's jump back into it, though. We were talking about the difference between being an MC, a master of ceremony, and a host.
Right.
Talk about that because you do all those things.
Right.
They're kind of the same, but they're still different.
They're still different. When you think about a host, it's probably like your base level, right? You'll have hosts that don't even touch a mic. They're just hosts. That means that for the evening, they're here and you're here to make them feel good. So you will do what's necessary to make sure food is there, make sure music is there, make sure the ambiance is set.
Right.
When you're a MC, you're talking about someone who can move the crowd, right? Shout out to KRS-One.
Yes, sir. MC means move the crowd.
Yes, sir. So that means you are paying attention to faces in the crowd. After you've done the ambiance now, you're looking at faces in the crowd. You're looking at people making eye contact with you, connecting the whole nine. You came to pursue something, didn't you?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so that's a vibe, right? So that was a
good vibe, dope vibe. Shout
crazy.
out to A Bevy.
Shout out to A Bevy, you feel me?
Cause that was
that was different, right?
Woo.
So working a space like that where there's a lot of emotional pressure in a room. There's a lot of people sharing their stories. There is music, but people didn't really come for the music. They came for the dialogue.
For the influence, the dialogue.
So
yes, sir.
I have an itinerary of what's going to be going down, right? And I look at my itinerary and I find gaps of where I can interject myself to make the crowd feel like they're here, mastering the crowd. Now, the master of ceremonies is someone who can, like I just said, look at that itinerary, know how much time they got to talk, know who's your sponsors, know your event, highlight different people in the room that might be doing something. Like I see you, Brilliant Views, to give them a shout out, make sure it's documented, make sure everybody in the room knows who's in the room, how they're feeling about the room. Yes, more than just saying, yo, y'all buy Ciroc at the bar, you know what I mean? Like, that's cool. Yes. But for what I bring, it's much more intensive. And that's why I say you got to have your budget because I just can't do that for free. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of preparation.
Bro, listen, this is the thing that I'm starting to learn more and more as I go. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Time out. Did I hit the button? I did. Okay, we good. Okay. My bad, people. I had to make sure we're getting this, man, because this is all good information. My bad.
Yes, sir.
I had to make sure we're getting it.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, a thing that I've been getting to learn, shout out to my guy, Justice Cox, co-founder of YBA.
Yeah, YBA the way.
Yes, sir. Is making sure, one, you're paying people their worth.
Right.
And two, you're asking people for payment for your work.
Right.
Because, we all have services.
For sure.
But services
cost money.
And we pay for quality.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want something of quality, you're going to pay for it.
For sure.
And that's
why
you got to pay for your quality.
Most definitely.
And all that.
Most
that's
definitely.
why people and stop asking for discounts with African-American businesses, bro.
Right.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off in a tangent.
No,
but
that's real.
Because we'll see us and be like, oh, man, you my brother.
Right.
But you see Joe Smo, who might be a white guy doing the same thing.
You're going to pay him what he said.
Bro.
Yeah.
Easy. But
what we'll look at is we'll say, well, you should know I ain't got it.
Right.
But that's a scarcity. That's scarcity talk. You have more than money.
Boy.
If you say like, dog, I got $40 for this, but I also have access to the network, and I can guarantee you I can get you into 2-3 more events that's going to pay you that. If we can work out a deal like that, what can we say? A lot of times you got to open your mind up to abundance. Like there's more to you than what you have. That's why people look for deals because they see scarcity. I don't see scarcity. I don't make a lot of money. I work a full-time job as well, still trying to make sure everything stays where it should be. Yes, so I can look at people who have ideas and say, okay, I can work with that. All right, what's more to it? How can we grow? So I've taken a lot of pay cuts for that. Them days are coming up to an end, so I can leave this here job and actually get. So, we got some events coming up here, real soon.
Speak on. Let's go.
We got, shout out to everybody that's working. We got November 3rd. Shout out to Man Jones, man. Listen,
she's calling, bro. She keep calling. We good.
I'm never gonna tell nobody to tell their mama.
Mama know we working. Mama, I love you.
Mama knows.
Mama know we working. She knows son working. I'm gonna call you right back.
But November 3rd. First Sundays. This is something you don't want to miss. First Sundays, downtown Spartanburg, SMC Studio. We're having Sundays. First Sundays. It's featuring. It's just a networking session featuring lit ass music. Okay, those type of vibes. Shout out to Good People Entertainment. We got great drink specials. Okay. On top of that, we got some of the most hottest upscale professionals that are coming on every first Sunday to network, exchange cards. Tell me what your business is. Set up the booth. Connect. Right. So there won't what you get people who are really investing that are willing to book you. They're gonna be here. You pay $20 to get in. Okay, you know what I'm saying. So you basically paying $20 to get access to the network, right? So,
ain't no wrong with that. Yes,
listen, we got the Masquerade Ball November 15th.
Yes,
same thing.
Okay.
So like all of these, they appear one way, Renaissance, but it's access. You feel me? Y'all recent most Gallup. Same thing, access. These are people who are serious about what they want to put out into the community. So a lot of times they'll hit me up and say, Shem, we want you to host this because we know the way your style of emceeing is what we want. And a lot of times these are like their first ideas. So I will in those ways say, okay, what else is there to it? In what ways can we work out something? Can I get a contract with you over the next 6 to see as it grows,
we grow with each other.
And I get it on the back end, right? But sometimes I'm waiting for language. If I hear scarcity, I know we're not going to have a great business relationship. Okay. You know what I mean? Because I come with a team.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the team.
Shout out to the team. And Adam Black, Taquan, Culture Chef, Pressure ENT, like the whole team, like Top Shelf Entertainment, Brilliant Views, like we a team.
Facts.
Like we are like a genuine community of people. So to make the most out of these ideas, I'm gonna hit the team. I'm gonna be like, I don't just host our network. Yes, you know what I mean? So in between days, I'm reaching to different access points in our network saying, this is something y'all want to come to. This is an opportunity for you can perform. It's an opportunity for you to set up a booth and sell some merch. That's coming to them with resources. So I'm not perfect by any stretch of imagination. Some people tell you I ain't shit. So listen, I'm not here to boost myself up, but I believe in my work. Right. And I believe in the sincerity of it. And that's what really makes the quality what it is.
Bro, that's what it's about, man. You ain't even boosting yourself. It's just speaking real facts of what you do and who you are and what you bring to the table. Yeah. And that's why I have you here today, bro.
Brilliant Views. We here, man.
You know what time it is. Listen,
I ain't bust out a freestyle yet. What's good? No, I'm joking.
I'm about to say now because we got put on the beat. We got Studio A right over there now. Okay. But no, hey, Shim, once again, brother, thank you for coming. Oh, wait,
man,
hold on.
love, man.
Let people know, bro, how they can follow you, the movement, the Renaissance, everything. How can they get all that?
For sure. Make sure you follow me online, Instagram, Shemuel.xyz. Display Marketing is our marketing platform. Also, website's the same, Shemuel.xyz. That's where I do my blogging. That's where I share exclusive content. Make sure you follow the ITM Network as well, the ITM Network on Instagram, and like the page on Facebook, ITM Network, man. Shout out to Brilliant Views. Shout out to Bray the Brilliant. You feel me? Shout out to YBA The Way.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
Justice Cox, the community group.
Yes,
So many brothers out there that are really putting their hands in the trenches. Shout out to you, man. Like there's so many people that keep me inspired when things get a little dark for me. And I can honestly say, like, YBA is one of those things. Coming out of nonprofit, understanding how much work it takes to build a particular program, to continue to keep engagement, your numbers where it's at, and to work with funders and whatnot,
sponsors, all that,
sponsors,
people,
and
parents,
and walk the fine line of like, okay, I gotta, the fact that you guys are doing it and are doing it for young black men and I will die on this hill. It should be continuously celebrated for something historic. We're looking at it at our level because we're here. But 20 years down the road, those men grow, and they're going to remember Justice, yourself, Andre. Like, Andre Sullivan is a master, master of masters.
What?
Like, that's a gem that our community really needs to rally around. He's so humble.
Yes,
like, all of you guys are mad humble, and they would be, if I were to have a son, I would feel very safe saying, hey, go with him. You know what I mean? These guys going to teach you when I can't see you. So, make sure y'all follow that, man. Make sure y'all follow and support, donate, do all of that.
Yes, sir, man. Like you said, man, follow, support, donate, all that. But make sure you follow and supporting everybody around you, because this man is amazing.
Yeah,
his team is amazing.
Yeah.
Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina, North Carolina, the world, period, we're all full of amazing people. That's why I started Brilliant Views, for everybody to see different people's brilliant views on the world.
Yeah.
And Shem, my brother, you definitely have a brilliant view on the world.
Thank you, man. Love.
Yes, sir. So y'all make sure y'all go follow my guy Shem on all his social medias, follow the website, follow his movement, follow everything he's doing. If you would like to be a part of Brilliant Views, come in for an interview. Email me at either hit me up on Instagram or just email me. Instagram is Breylon Brilliant. Email is brilliantviewsproductions@gmail.com. Yes, sir. And then listen, if you want to be part of Studio Near You playlist, hit me up on my Instagram, all those things as well. Shim, thank you for coming, my brother.
Love, man. I love you.
Yes,
and keep doing what you're doing, man.
Do.
Shout out to y'all, yo.
This has been another episode of Brilliant Views. Peace.
Boy, that was easy going, right?
Look, bro, listen.
I could have talked to you for a minute.
Listen.